What is up, besties? It is your girl Karmic, back to you again with another video, and this time we are taking a look at Quiet on Set, the Nickelodeon series. We're doing part 2, Amanda Bynes. Now, as always, this is alleged and for entertainment purposes only, besties. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty, and I know nothing because I am just speaking intuitively from my psychic little hands. How could I possibly know? So as always, if you enjoy these readings, please give it a like. It really does support my page. Hey to my regulars. Hey, besties. I love you guys so much. I hope that you guys are doing well. Thank you for being patient with me while I have been trying to rejuvenate my energy from a weekend of many people. If you're an introvert, raise your hand, y'all, because peopling is hard these days. But anyway, getting to the video, basically, I pulled some oracles in the beginning to get a feel of like Amanda's energy, where she's at, where she was, you know. And then we looked at the tarot to find out basically what was going on. What was going on in Nickelodeon, what was going on with her and Dan, and why she didn't go on the Quiet on Set, and why people brought her up on Quiet on Set. So we covered all 4 of those questions in the tarot portion. So that one is a little bit longer, but it's because a lot of things came up. So as always, you guys know me, I do long readings. I like to dig, leave no stone unturned. Please bear in mind that this is a tough energy to read. It was not an exciting reading for me. It was gross and unfortunate. And I think if we've learned anything from these readings, it's to pray for these fucking kids that are now adults but are still stuck in that trauma, you know. So anyway, you know, it's sad. It really is sad. And if you, like myself, are part of the Me Too movement, then I hope that all of you find your own peace and harmony and tell your story and support yourself and one another. And, you know, we all got to stick together during a time like this, because this shit's just going to keep coming out. I got that in the reading as well, just so you know. This ain't over. I've been saying that. But we're going to, yeah, let's just get to the reading because it's intense. Thank you to everybody that sits through 30 seconds of ads. It's a free and easy way to support my page. Subscribe if you haven't already, because we are going to be taking a look at a lot of these child stars so that we can figure out. Even Orlando came through for like a split second, so he might be the next reading. We'll see. But as always, is a legend. Subscribe if you want to be a part of the series and see what we get. If you want to book a personal reading with me, it does take up to 3 weeks. I am one person. Please bear with me, y'all. But in order to get a reading from me, it's in the description box. It's my website link now. It's easy. One-stop shop. Like I said, it'll take up to 3 weeks because I'd rather you guys have a good reading than a rushed one. And I'm one person. So, yeah. Let me know down in the comments below if there's anything that you can fill in the gaps for me, because I did get a lot channeled through that was not the best. Whatever. Mercury's retrograding all over my ability to communicate, and this reading is already uncomfortable, which is making me uncomfortable. So let's all pray for Amanda, and without further ado, besties, thank you to everybody that sits through 30 seconds of ads, for an easy way to support my page. Thank you to everybody that comments down below to fill in the gaps, because I really don't know, believe it or not. I don't have time to be Googling everybody. So when you guys let me know in the comments, it helps me understand what's going on. So thank you for that. And also, don't forget to always vote in the community poll so that I know who wants to see what, so that I can know what video to put out. But I've said enough. Without further ado, besties, let's get into it. All right, besties. So we are going to take a look, all legend for entertainment purposes only. Let's start with some oracles to get an idea, a roundabouts of Amanda, just in general, just to see how, I mean, I don't think she's doing well. I keep getting like, now, remember, I'm not a medical trained professional, but it's giving me the vibe of either like bipolar or MPD, allegedly. And I'm not a trained professional, because it almost feels like I'm here and I'm not. You know what it's reminding me of is like blacking out often. Like that could just mean that she's drinking a lot, but there's something here about dissociation that happens a lot with her. Like they're almost asking me to ask you guys about some of the times when, does she go on TikTok live? I have seen some of the videos pop up, but I don't know what platform she uses. I'm seeing TikTok in my mind's eye, and it's like, look at her eyes when she's acting weird. It's like nobody's home. And I don't know what that's got to do with anything yet. Listen, okay, I get it now. Fuck. All right, I guess we're just getting into it. All alleged. So, okay, let me give this to you as an example. Remember, this is not fact. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty, and I don't know nothing. You know how this is a scientific fact that 99% of the reason, 99% of the time, anyone that has multiple personality disorder, they usually get it as a coping mechanism from severe trauma as a child. And I feel like that's why they're showing me this MPD and something about like dissociation and not having a real control over my emotions. It's almost like I do allegedly believe that something did happen to her during childhood. I don't think she got out unscathed is what I'm hearing. Unscathed, not unscathed is what I just keep hearing. I almost feel like allegedly she holds on to these characters because it's her way of coping. So you know how like we see her like acting all sorts of weird? I think this is why we see these kid actors going crazy allegedly and for entertainment purposes. Only no facts here, bestie. I'm getting news. Because they're drawing me to Orlando. I always frick up his last name. Brown. One of them is the guy from That's So Raven, and then there's the other guy that's like famous actor too, but not the white guy. The guy from That's So Raven that goes crazy a lot. I almost feel like it's a defense mechanism because they don't know who they are because they've been deprived of their innocence. And so if you don't have your innocence, then you don't have a solid sense of self. And if you don't have a solid sense of self, then you are much more likely to lean on, allegedly, who you think is a role model or someone who is an adult. You don't know who you are, and so you're going to lean on other people to help you figure out and navigate who you are. I'm being drawn to where she apparently ran away from her parents' house and ran to Dan's house. There's something here about Dan allegedly knowing how to play the role of being a caregiver. Because, like, I'm seeing him, like, yeah, because I'm hearing the song Don't You Worry About a Thing, and I'm seeing him, like, rubbing her back. It's almost, listen, you know how you go to Petco and you get your animals groomed? Allegedly? That's almost what this feels like. Because I'm being shown, like, a lot of movies where, like, it's the guy you don't see coming, and he's, like, a friend of the family, and he's, like, got your kid's best interest in heart, and he's always there, and he's the one that picks up the phone whenever your kid is having a nervous breakdown, but it's to set a scene so that they feel safe with you, so that when weird shit happens, you don't ask questions because it's like, well, you're the only person I feel safe with. I don't even know who I am. So of course I'm going to you. You're the only person that makes me feel seen. Allegedly and for entertainment purposes only, I feel like there's some weird tie between Dan and Amanda where it's like, I almost wonder if they are both intellectually stunted. Because it's kind of giving me the vibe of, and I'm not defending Dan, so don't you dare, but it's giving me the vibe of Dan has the emotional maturity of a teenager, and Amanda was a young child who had to grow up fast, so she had the emotional maturity of a teenager. So it's like Dan should be up here, but he dropped to here for emotional intelligence. And Amanda should have been down here, but a bunch of shit happened to her, so she went up in emotional intelligence. So they're meeting at the emotional intellectual age of 16. So I think that's why there's this gap here where it's like, I keep hearing a Beyonce song to the left, and it's like I'm putting it in the box to the left. So Amanda's definitely compartmentalizing in order to survive. But I think there's this tug and pull in her because it's like, I didn't feel safe with anyone. I felt safe with you. How could you? So allegedly, did he do anything? We'll have to check the cards, but what I'm channeling doesn't seem like he was innocent entirely, allegedly. Because I almost see it as like, you're the one person I could rely on. You're the one person I could depend on. And I was wrong. And now I don't want to deal with the feelings that come with that. Like, it's almost like, you know what I'm seeing in my mind's eye is the Tower card in reverse. And to those that don't know tarot, the Tower is like, it's an unavoidable event. Everything is falling down because it needs to, because it's not on good foundations. And I'm seeing Amanda trying really hard to death grip what's kept her relatively sane, because it's almost like what I'm seeing is like things coming out of the box that'll just, it's almost giving me like it could make her brain snap. Like, I wouldn't even be shocked if the fragmentation card comes out, and if it doesn't, it's just because the energy's so damn obvious. I think something fragmented her in childhood where she had to grow up fast, and there's a lot of moving parts. And oh my God, it's so funny because I spaced out and I have these for my childhoodness, and look, drew my eyes right to that. So yeah, allegedly there's some trauma here, but let's get into Amanda before we continue. Obsession. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. In the reverse. Okay, well, okay, I really hate when I do this mid-video. Hold on. Okay, sorry, I had to remove things. Virgo stellium's losing my mind. Anyway, with the obsession card, this feels a lot like, again, I feel like Amanda does not have a sense of self. And so it's almost, you know what I'm seeing is like all of those coming of age movies where like the tweens go into a retro store and they're trying on all these different type of clothings to see what looks good. I'm seeing Amanda doing that, but it's like characters. Does she have Gemini placements anywhere? Because it's like, I don't know who I am. You guys need to tell me who I am. I think this kid has been putting on shows and roles for so long. She's giving Gemini energy. I'm really shocked that she's not a Gemini, because it's just like, I'd be shocked if she didn't have Gemini placements, because it's like, I want to be whoever you are. It wouldn't even shock me, like, to anybody that has, like, any background in human design. I have to do more research, but it wouldn't shock me if she has, like, the reflector energy or whatever it is. I don't know anything on it, but it's just giving me the vibe of, like, I will be who you need me to be. You need me to be funny in this moment, I'm going to be funny in this moment. You need me to be serious in this moment, it's giving method actor, but it's like method actor that went too far and became the role they're trying to play. I feel like as a form of survival for Amanda in order to get through, first of all, she's got to have Gemini energy, because I feel it all over this reading. I wouldn't even be shocked if Virgo, because that atonement in the reverse is giving me the vibe of like, I take shit out on myself. I think the reason that we see her, lose her shit from time to time, date problematic people, I think she blames herself, because it's like, I don't get what I'm doing wrong. I really feel like something in childhood stunted her emotionally. So it's kind of like, you know how, usually we do lose our shit, but this is the best example they're trying to give me, because I luckily have my 90s nostalgia cup in front of me. You know how like NSYNC's coming back, like all these bands that broke up for decades and they come back for the nostalgia factor? I feel like that's kind of like Amanda. It's like, I'm trying to make you guys happy again, but it's just like she doesn't know how to be a person. So it's like, I made you guys happy, because they keep showing me the Amanda Bynes show and how everything was like a skit. And it's like, you guys loved my skits. So does she do skits on TikTok now? Like, does she not actually act like a person? Does she do skits? Because it's reminding me of like a lot of TikTokers that do skits. I almost wonder if, because now I'm being drawn to Doja Cat and how she punks her fans. I feel like some of the videos that Amanda does, allegedly and for entertainment purposes only, are for shock value, entertainment purposes, and stuff like that. It's not actually who she is. I don't think she knows who she is. Because here's the thing. Queen of my own world, I'm trying to concoct and create anything that I can to make the people love me again. Like, I'm seeing Britney Spears in my mind's eye, and I almost see Amanda looking over to Britney like, what am I doing wrong that makes people love Britney but they hate me? Like, Amanda is fucking hard on herself. It's like, she's got to I would be shocked if she didn't have Gemini or Virgo placements, because 10-10 on the clock, cycle's ending, which might be a good thing for her. For me to see 10-10 and be drawn out of my channeling, this might be ending soon-ish, because it almost feels like she's trying to avoid the documentary, but it's like, you can't avoid because I'm hearing like you can't avoid what's coming or something like that. Now I forgot. What was a channeling spirit? Oh, right. With Queen of My World, it's like, it's so funny. It's giving me Beyonce, Selena, Britney. What she's doing is she's comparing herself to the people that she kind of like grew up with, in terms of like for instance, me being really hooked on my millennial shit, I'm really nostalgic. So I have a lot of stuff that reminds me of that, and it brings me back to good memories. I feel like these people, think of high school, right? Like the 10-year high school reunion, and you compare yourself to those people because it's like we were in the same kind of squad, the same group, so we should be kind of relatively growing at the same pace. She compares herself to everybody else, 11-11. And so for her, it's like, well, everybody fought for Britney and Britney was loved. What am I doing wrong? So it's like, let me try another mask. And it's like, nope, that mask didn't work. Okay. Everybody loves Selena. Okay. Relationships make people talk. Okay. So I'll get in a relationship. Nope, not working. Okay. Everybody loves Taylor Swift. And that's how she does it. And notice how my throat's giving up. It's like, I don't even know how to be a person. I don't think she knows how to be a person. She knows how to be a people pleaser. She doesn't know anything else. And with atonement in the reverse, this is screaming to me that everything that has ever happened to her, she fucking takes out on herself. And it makes me so angry because 3 and 1 reduces to 4. That's home. Home in the reverse. Atonement to people that have been following me forever. That always reminds me of the 10 of Swords. This is in reverse. So this is self-sabotage, but also being betrayed by somebody else. So for her, it's like, what's wrong with me? Why am I broken? Why can't I perform anymore? Why don't people love me anymore? None of her is going, maybe the trauma broke me. Maybe I'm actually a victim. Maybe I deserve some therapy. Maybe I deserve to be healed. She does not get it. She has learned very early on that in the industry and in order to survive, shut the actual fuck up. She was another Britney. Except this is how, it's like her default setting to deal with this is Britney shaving her head. Like they're drawing me to the shaved head. It's like that's how she feels all the time. I don't feel like I'm in control. They're drawing me to the heart that she tattooed on her face. They're drawing me to, I've seen this somewhere, like scientists back this up, but I don't really understand it because I don't have tattoos on my face. But allegedly, there's some sort of psychological thing where it's like you tattoo your face because you don't feel like you're here or you're in control or something. If anybody can find a good link on the statistics on that or whatever, feel free to throw it in the comments. But there is something to do with like face tattoos and you're either like you don't feel like you're seen or you have childhood trauma or something like that. There's some sort of correlation. And that's what I'm being drawn to. It's like she does things because it's like, okay. You know what they're showing me? You know how like, and I'm not trying to drag any parents, but I could see a couple of parents getting triggered, so I don't know what to tell you. You know how like a parent will be, very busy. Let's say they have to work from home, right? And they got a very busy job, but they also have no one to take care of their kid. And their kid doesn't feel like they're getting attention. And so the kid acts out because it's like the last ditch attempt. It's like my parents not paying attention to me. So let me do explosive shit like breaking stuff or just causing a scene or whatever because it's like any attention is better than none. That's Amanda. It's like, I don't know what I did wrong. I internalize everything. So you guys, well, not you, because I doubt I attract people that are that toxic. I make an intention not to. But to anybody who is saying nasty shit on her comments, I really do think that she takes that on because for her, it's like critic reviews is what I'm seeing. Like I'm seeing someone reading the reviews in a magazine of like their book or their movie. Amanda goes and looks at it and goes, oh, what am I doing wrong? Okay, so it's almost like she takes it as like legitimate feedback because she doesn't know how to be a person. And this is really sad. Bro, it's like I fucking said that. She's trying so hard to figure out who she is, and it's like, tell me who to be. You tell me who to be, and I will throw that mask on because I have no fucking clue who I am. Because of work, 7 and 1 reduces to 8, which is the number of work. Because of work, I've had to always put on a mask. But here's the thing. Some of these kids don't make it forever because either they can't handle it because look at the conditions or whatever the reason, and then they go crazy, and then you wonder why they're like, damaged, broken, blah, blah, blah. It's because of it's not a healthy environment. It's like growing up in a cult and then getting kicked out when you're 18 and then expecting to be normal, Amanda was never going to be normal. She went through a lot of shit. Yeah, literally, black flower fragrance. Everything around her was shit. She was treated like shit. She was taken advantage of. Yeah. She didn't have a choice. It's like I do feel like there's a soul contract somewhere involved because I do feel it. So I'm not going to lie. Bride in a Cage always reminds me when it feels more spiritual than conspiracy, it reminds me of like, this was always meant to happen. Forgive me, I don't know the background. Did her parents have a say? Because I'm seeing toddlers and tiara in my mind's eye. So it's like she was always going to be a big star. But I think in this lifetime, she was supposed to learn how to free herself. So I'm curious as to what her North Node is, because it wouldn't shock me if it was like North Node in Sag or Capricorn or, I don't know, Aquarius. Just, I don't know. There's something here about learning how to free myself in this lifetime. And I don't know. I think she's in a battle right now. We're seeing it with Justin Bieber. We're seeing it with Selena, Ariana. These kids, they're all feeling it at the same time. We're all at a collective level. So, yeah, calling the storm in reverse. She is still trying to block out this pain. I don't think she wants anything to do with the documentary, y'all. I'm going to be real with you. This is like, hear no evil, see no evil is what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. It's like, if I don't have to look at it, then it doesn't exist. If I don't have to look at it, yep, Beyonce back in my head to the left. Everything you own in a box to the left. She don't want to deal with it. But let's get into the tarot, see what we can see. Again, all alleged for entertainment purposes only. And as always, alleged. No facts here. I repeated that. Let's continue. Mercury, thanks a lot. Retrograde. Anyway. All right, so we are going to take a look at Amanda and Dan and then anything else that they want to show us. So as always, thank you to everybody that sits through 30 seconds of ads. It's a free and easy way to support my page. If you haven't liked this video, please like it if you're enjoying. Mercury is killing me, y'all. I'm so sorry. Subscribe if you haven't already. This is a series. We are going to continue. Probably next will be Drake, but we'll do a community post to see what you guys want. And yeah, subscribe. Comment down below if you can fill in any of the gaps. But let's take a look. Her and Dan, all alleged. Nickelodeon, what's up? I just heard A Star Is Born when I saw that. Okay. So I'm seeing some, you know what they're showing me? This is more of a metaphor. They're showing me someone trying to pick the perfect apple. It's like I see someone in a field of apples and it's like, this is the perfect one. So remember how I said A Star Was Born? I feel like something about Amanda. Dan was like, you're a star. It's you. I know it's you. You're the star. You're the one I need to put my money into. You're the one. You're the one. Like, I just keep hearing it. Yeah, like I'm hearing the song from Rihanna where it's like, you're the one that I think about all day. You are the one, so I make sure I behave. Oh, no. That's a song about love. I don't know. We'll continue before I say anything like that. Two of Pentacles. This is giving me like, I'll throw as much money as I need to at this. I don't really care what it takes. I feel like, allegedly, people didn't really see the vision that Dan saw. There's just something like, there was something about Amanda that Dan saw that not everybody else saw. That it's giving me the vibe of like, all right, Dan has the eye that we just don't really get. Go ahead with that four cups. It's like, I don't see what you see, but you make our big hits. Go for it. Throw the money at it that you need to. Here's the advancements. Here's this. Here's that. Two of Pentacles always reminds me of finances. It's like, throw whatever money you want to at this. We believe in you. So I do feel like from the moment that Dan saw Amanda, it was like, I just see him going like this. Which, going back to the conspiracy oracles we just pulled, it felt like she was fated to be a part of this. So maybe this was fated in some way we don't understand. But anyway, let's continue. What the fuck? Why am I hearing the song, I Can Be Your Hero, Baby, I Can Take Away the Pain? And I'm being drawn right back to the day that she allegedly ran away to Dan's house from her parents. Why do I feel like Dan has some weird savior complex that... You know what this is giving me the vibe of? The guy on Facebook that's always like, women don't like men because they don't like nice guys. But we all know nice guys don't have to say that they're nice guys. Nice guys don't say they're nice guys. Those aren't nice guys. And in case any woman needed to know this today, or anyone that likes men... Nice men don't say that they're nice. You don't have to do that. That's a trigger because you feel like you're not seen, and then you're going to act out and prove you're not a nice guy. So that being said, there's something here about feeling like I need to save her. Why? Did he... Do we know anything about Dan's childhood? I know you guys want to nail him to a cross, and I'm not saying that anything he's done is at all okay. I'm not lock him up, throw away the key. I don't give a fuck about this dude. That being said, there's a movie on Netflix called The Shack. It's about God. And as someone, calling myself out here, that really is not a fan of religion because of what it does to people that I love and care about, it's a really good movie. But the point of the movie is like, you can go back to every really bad person, and if you remove your emotions from it, you'll see why they became the way that they are. And I'm feeling something about Dan feeling like he needed someone to save him at one point in his life and no one ever showed up. And so I think this is why we have this energy where he's emotionally stunted, because it's like, I didn't have support. So as a coping mechanism, it's kind of giving me the vibe of like that awkward guy in school that's like, he's funny, but he's socially awkward. And it's because like, no one ever paid attention to him. It's kind of giving me that vibe. So what I'm seeing, I'm trying to explain it to you guys from a psychological perspective so that you can understand how this happened. Also, in case y'all have kids or any of this, so you can avoid things like this for you, for your loved ones, whatever. What I'm seeing is Dan was emotionally stunted at some point in his life due to some sort of fucking trauma. Who cares? Semantics. Anyway, I feel Amanda had a similar type of trauma, at least from an energetic perspective. And so Dan saw that. Somehow he saw it. I don't know if maybe he saw a casting call and Amanda was treated disrespectfully by her father and Dan saw I just see something in his brain clicking and him being like, I can be your hero. I can be your role model. I can help you achieve your dreams. I know exactly what you need. There's this mixture of like superiority complex and this hero type of energy. I want to save you. I want to help you. I shit you not. The Queen of Cups is Dan. Because I was like, Queen of Cups, she's an Aries. And Spirit was like, that's Dan. Dan was like, I see you. I want to help you. I want to bring you up to fame. I want to give you the fame that I feel I should have gotten. I see that you're worth putting the money into because we have a kinship of some sort. That's 6 of Cups. Listen, y'all are going to fucking cancel me. You are going to cancel me for this. But I'm never going to be a reader that tells you what you want to hear. I'm going to be a reader that tells you what I see. I feel, unfortunately, very strongly about this, that Dan was meant to be in Amanda's life. That 6 of Cups to me is screaming soul contract. I can't get it out of my head. I can't. Now, I know a lot of you with your emotions, I understand. You're going to be like, soul contract with someone so evil, how could it be? But if you really dive into metaphysics and stuff like that, you'll understand that, like, think about someone that really hurt you, let's say years ago, right? And think about Ariana's song, because it's playing in my head now. Look what you've done, but look what you've taught me. And for that, I say thank you next. Now, this is an extreme case. I understand that. But if you believe in reincarnation, we sense what you sense when someone's familiar. We can't explain it. We don't have words for it, but we can sense it. Both of them felt that. So I'm true with all of my heart. I will throw it against the wall. I don't give a fuck. As disgusting and fucked up as this is, there was something that through the stars, through soul contracts, this was meant to happen. Now, you could argue that, because I know, like, for instance, Sloan Bella, huge fan, shout out. This could be something along the lines of like, I'm chasing your energy down on the metaphysics. I don't know how far and deep that goes. I'm simply saying this is not their first rodeo as souls working together. That's all I'm saying, and I'm going to leave it at that. I feel like that is why Dan was so drawn to her, and that is a part that I can't leave out, because I know a lot of you are going to be like, why? Like, why? He saw himself in her, and the reason he saw it was because this is not their first rodeo. That 8 of Cups, we've been through this before, but that's not in this lifetime because she's a kid when this happened. We've done this before. I can't walk away from you. So I wouldn't even be shocked. Like, I know this sounds so fucked up, but I wouldn't even be shocked if, like, they were boyfriend, girlfriend in a previous life, because that's the energy that it's fucking giving. Or father, daughter, something like that. I'm telling you, because like, listen, not to share my personal shit, but really, really quick. I've had past life where like my mother was actually my spouse or my kid. Like you guys, I know it sounds weird, but when you dive into it, that's what happens. So I'm going to leave that, move along. He felt like he could save her, fix her, heal her, make her a star. It's like, I have your back. I'm going to protect you. This is weird. Anyway, let's move forward. Okay. Okay, fuck. I knew this was going to get bad. I didn't want to, though. I want to stress this is all alleged, no facts here. So, remember how, you know, you go to Petco, you get your dog groomed? Well, this is a card about relationships, right? And then this is a card about, it's the world card, but it's in reverse, so cycle's not ending. Page of Pentacles, expectations not being met. What I'm seeing is, God. You know how there's a lot of couples going under fire right now because there's a giant age gap, like how allegedly Leonardo DiCaprio dates like 20 years olds and then he throws them out after a certain age. And like, if you do research, psychologists will tell you the reason this happens is because emotionally stunted people, and it's why they go after children. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm simply explaining that from a psychological perspective, this is why it happens. They are stunted. They don't mesh well with their peers. And this is why you're seeing all these people that are adults, that were adults the same age as Dan, coming out and going like, he did really inappropriate jokes and he was always like, come on, it's funny. And he couldn't read the room. It's because he's emotionally stunted. This dude, he doesn't bond with people his age except through fear tactics. And I think that half the time he doesn't even realize that it's a fear tactic. Like, this guy just doesn't get it because, again, it's like let's go backwards. God. Because they're putting me in Dan's head, and it's not the best energy to be in because it's like they want me to understand to make it make sense, but it's going against the very fabric of my being, so I'm having trouble, so bear with me. But if you... Okay, let's make this less gross. How about that? There is likely something emotionally stunted with Leonardo DiCaprio if he keeps dating 20-year-olds. Chances are he can't be with somebody that is his age because he's probably emotionally immature. And so he goes after young girls, not only because they're hot, sure, true, but also they're not going to pick up a fuss, right? Those young girls, they're just grateful to have you. Like, you noticed me. Oh my God, I feel important. I don't really question... Why do you want to be with me? You're 50 years old. That's fucking weird. I don't ask that. I just feel grateful because you picked me and I'm unique and different. And if I'm Leo, then it's like, yeah, you're hot and shit, but also like, you don't force me to grow up. You don't force me to take a look at myself. You don't force me to face shit. So it's kind of like a win-win. That's the energy that I'm getting with Dan. This sounds like I'm sympathizing with him, but they're just trying to make me help make it sense for you, make it make sense for you. Not because it's okay, but just because a lot of us are going like, okay, Spirit's like, we're going to keep hearing about this, which is why they're trying to make it make sense for you, because this is not over. And I've been saying this since 2020. We're going to keep this until all of because what Spirit is showing me is like a rug with dust, and it's like everything's coming out. So this isn't over. You're going to find out about more child stars that got hurt. You're going to find out about more people that you worshiped that ended up being really fucked up people. This is not over. Been saying this since 2020. I will lay on that. I will die on that cross. But that being said, they're trying to show me how this works so that when this keeps coming out, you guys don't lose your fucking mind, basically. Dan doesn't get it because Dan is not respected by his peers. He doesn't fit in with his peers because, again, very young-minded. It's like the practical jokes for him. He really does believe that they're practical jokes. He doesn't understand why adults are offended because here's the thing. His brain never developed to adulthood. So going back to Amanda, going back to Petco where you get your dog groomed, because he couldn't grow up, And because he felt like he could save Amanda, what was originally just like, I see myself in you, I want to help you, I want to make you a star, very quickly became, I can see myself with you. That's where the gross part comes in. It's like, with that expectations not being met, it's like something's missing. I feel good when I'm around you. Like they're showing me the scene with the hot tub and how he's in the hot tub with Amanda. And you can even read the body language in that. It'll tell that the body language in that video will tell you exactly what I'm seeing right now. He seems cool, calm, collected, like he's trying to win over some chick. She seems like I'm just here because I'm making money. I feel very strongly like he thought he could turn this into a real legitimate relationship. He wanted to be with Amanda. It's like you and I, we make sense. Okay. I think that Amanda tried her hardest to avoid it for as long as humanly possible. I think that she would make excuses for him. I think that allegedly, and for entertainment purposes only, her parents weren't reliable people. So it's like, if I don't have adults to lean on, like, who do I lean on? And it's going to be who opens their arms. And Dan was very willing to open his arms. And so I almost see her like teetering a line of like, well, I don't want to be home. I don't like my parents. I don't like how they are. And I want to be free. I don't really know how to do that. And him being like, I can help you. I can set you free. But I see her just teetering on a line where it's like, how do I do this where I get out of this unscathed, where I get out of this without getting hurt, where I get out of this with my money, my well-being, all of the above. Queen of Wands, that's her. She's an Aries. It's like, how do I move forward and get everything that benefits me with the least amount of damage possible, basically. Magician, yeah, he sold her a dream. Waiting for timing. Yeah. I think, you know what it's giving me the vibe of? Again, Petco, grooming at Petco with your dog. It's giving me the vibe of like, I'm saying all the right things. I'm getting you all the roles, waiting for all the right timing. And I feel like eventually he crossed the line. That Three of Pentacles in the reverse says it all for me. It's like eventually I abused my power. I abused the work-life balance. Someone ended up getting screwed over. We know it's not Dan. And look, there's a woman abused on the card. And look at how this dude has like this hero kind of energy. I almost feel like he just doesn't get it, which is why I did tell Spirit to channel this through me instead of put me in the energy, because I did not want to be in their energy, which is why I'm like really confused right now. And they feel like that's how everybody around Dan felt. It's very confusing because he just doesn't make sense as a human being. It's like, how old are you? Because you feel like you're 16. You're emotionally stunted. I don't feel many emotions at all. I feel an opportunist. I do feel like I'm hearing smoke screen with the parents thing. So I do feel like he saw that as like, because I'm hearing Yahtzee in my mind. It's like, ooh, perfect opportunity to get even closer to her. I feel, you know what I'm seeing in my mind's eye? I'm not making this okay, y'all. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. You know how they tried to make maps a thing? Like they were really trying to make a place in space for them to be able to be okay because, well, at least we don't touch them. We just think about it. Like, fuck y'all. But you know how like, if you remove your emotions, like some of them really do fall in love with children. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing. I'm not saying it's okay. It's disgusting. I'm disgusted. I promise you that. But I see him just being like, you get me, I get you. Your coping mechanism's the same as mine. You laugh when you're uncomfortable. I laugh when I'm uncomfortable. You're talented. I'm talented. We could be something. Like I almost see him being as delusional enough to be like, we could be the it couple. We could, like, it's almost giving me, you know how we always end up finding out that like this guy who's 40 is dating this 21-year-old and it turns out he's known her since she was like 14. That's the vibe. It's like Dan was fucking on the line and he would cross it sometimes, but it's like once she turns 18, then we can like be official. I'm telling you, this guy really thought this could turn into a relationship one day. And I honestly, like, I'm not saying it's okay, but because it's so fucking normalized in the industry, of course he was going to think that. It's happening everywhere. How many times do we see a 22-year-old with a 50-year-old? It's not fucking normal. I have a 20-year-old sister. I would kill somebody. Like, But unfortunately, Dan saw everybody else do it, so it's like, why not? Like, I will create the rapport with Amanda, and then when she's 18, she could be mine. Like, it's given cult. It's given, I'll have you in secret, in private, and then when it's legal, I'll have you in public. This guy's delusional. And Amanda knew it. Yeah, I expected that card eventually. Yeah, he was preying on her inability to feel like she had any stability in her life. She didn't feel solid with her parents. She had low self-esteem, low self-worth. She didn't want to be home. He took advantage of that. I do believe that there are things that has happened that she has signed on the dotted line. I'm seeing it. I do feel like that's why she didn't come out on the Nickelodeon show. There's a mixture here. It's like, I'm not ready to tell my story because, first of all, I've compartmentalized it. I don't want to deal with it. I would be shocked if she doesn't have Gemini placements. I feel Gemini all over this reading. It's like, as a Gemini moon, I know this fucking energy. It's like scared chipmunk squirrel running away from should I go past the car or not? Like, that's the energy. It's like, fuck it, sign the paperwork, throw it away, put it in the back of my head, move on. Like, this girl compartmentalizes like a son of a bitch. That I would be shocked. Does she feel like a Gemini moon, Gemini Mercury, Gemini rising, Gemini? There's Gemini in this woman. Like, this girl does not know. She won't let herself feel the shit she's endured. It's just like, I think in order for a lot of these celebrities to survive, they just go, this is part of how it works, and they push it down. Like, as someone that can say I'm part of the Me Too movement, it took me 10 years to tell my story, and I'm a regular person. So imagine when you have to worry about, will I get more jobs if I tell? Will I be, respected by the millions of people that feel like they have a right to talk about my life? So, you know what I mean? Like, Amanda's just trying to, she gives me the vibe of like a bag of anxiety with feet trying to just hold on for dear life. This girl is traumatized. She's so traumatized that I do feel like there's got to be like MPD or just a lot of dissociation. This girl is never really here. Like, I don't feel good in her energy. I don't. I feel very dissociative. I feel very off. And what's weird is like, I wanted to do this reading to cover like how's she feeling and like what is she going through, but I'm getting a story because this girl does not want to feel. That's why it's like, this is so Gemini. I'm a Gemini moon. I fucking get it. This is Gemini. How is she not a Gemini? I think with the Aries energy, it helps her to like move on to the next thing, because it's like, if this doesn't work, I'll try something else. If this doesn't work, I'll try something else. If this doesn't work, I'll try something else. She is constantly trying to escape what is an inevitable facing of her trauma. And he manipulated her from the rip. But again, in his mind, it's like, it wasn't a manipulation. Like, I saw you. I saw you. It's like the thing that we all want to really be seen. So for him, it's like, what's wrong with that? Like, literally, I just recently put this up and I just keep being drawn to the lovers. It's like, it's really sick. He does not get it. You know what they're drawing me to? Oh my God, there was a couple, and then they made a movie about it, about how she like groomed her son's best friend. And then they ended up getting married and having kids, and like no one ever brought it up because they ended up like, the guy was like a Hawaiian descent or something. I don't know, but it's giving me that. It's like, he just doesn't get it. Their brains work differently. It's the only way I know how to describe this. Yeah, I am using the fact that you're struggling in your family as a way to create a family of my own. I'm telling you, he really believed that it's like, I want to save you. There's this savior complex going on where it's like, I want to help you. I can be your hero, baby, out of my head. I cannot get it out of my head. It's like your anxieties, everything you're going through, I get it. Your issues with your family, I get it. I want to be there for you. I can save you. You don't have to deal with all this conflict anymore. It's knight in shining armor energy. This dude, I know this is fucked up, but he loved her. Or at least he thought he did in his fucked up little head. I think there were people on set that told him that how he was behaving was inappropriate. I think people were talking to other people. People know about this. There are people that might know the entire story. There are people that know snippets. I think the reason that a lot of people aren't fully bringing up what happened is out of respect for Amanda. It's not about saving Dan. It's about, and honestly, I respect this energy. It's Amanda's story and she has the right to tell it. And honestly, it kind of makes me feel like a dick doing this reading. But I feel like that's where a lot of these people are coming from. It's a matter of like, look at how Amanda is right now. She's not okay. So why would we try and make her life more painful by telling her story when it's not our story to tell? Because I see people on the set that are seeing the inappropriateness and they're afraid of Dan, so there's nothing they can do. And it's like, now we're ready to tell our story. Now we want to talk about the relationships and everything that was going on. But if we were to do that, it would be at the expense of the mental health of Amanda. So I feel like the point of Quiet on Set and putting Amanda there was for you to ask questions and kind of put the puzzle pieces together on your own. Because it's like, I feel like Amanda's been NDA'd. I feel like Amanda doesn't want to go there. She doesn't want to. It's like it's in a box. It's compartmentalized. It's just something I had to do to survive. You know, it's giving me someone who's lived on the street their whole life. And, you know, yeah, I'm hearing the song City High. Oh my God, it's so old. I heard it in 4th grade. Now I can't think of it. Where it's like, what would you do when your son's at home crying all alone? He's hungry and the only way to feed him is to sleep with a man for a little bit of money. She was a parentified child. She didn't know any better. She did what she could to stay alive, she was always in a survival state. This woman is still in a survival state. She doesn't want to go back there. It's in a box. I don't think that she has watched this documentary, if I'm being honest with you. I'd be shocked if she did. She knows about it. People have reached out. They've said, hey, if you need me, I'm here. I do see her getting messages from other, you know, child stars and stuff like that, being like, if you want to be on my podcast, I'll give you the room. If you just need someone to talk to, I'll give you the space. But it's like, we're not going to tell her story because it's not ours to be told. And I think that's why I'm getting bits and pieces myself. I'm not getting straight up what happened to her because, again, it's her story to be told. And I think I kind of told you enough without just getting the nitty gritty. I think you see what's going on here. And I think they all saw it too. And I feel like because he, again, just doesn't pick up on clues, it's why he was so careless, and it's why everybody saw what was going on, because in his mind it was like, this is normal. Like, yeah, of course you flirt with a 13-year-old and then you become in a relationship once it's legal. Like, they're drawing me to that girl that was super famous. I think she was on Stranger Things, and there was like Facebook groups about like, can't wait till the day she's 18. This is normal. People are fucking disgusting. Like, unfortunately, this is what happens. So from Dan's perspective, it was like, I'll have you in private till I can have you in public. And Amanda shut the fuck down because it was like, my parents aren't safe. The person I thought that was safe turned out not to be safe, and no one's saving me. And I learned really early on that all I got is me, and I can't even depend on me. So I think she escapes to fantasy. This is why she does this extra shit. This is why she does weird skits and stuff. It's like, that's all I know how to do. That's all I know how to be. 11:11 on my clock. I'm concerned for her because I just feel such a disconnect. Like, Spirit is showing me her body. And what I'm seeing is her soul is not in it. And I know that's going to sound crazy to some of you, but what I'm seeing is like say this is her body, right? It's almost like her soul is kind of tagging along on the side. It's like she's not fully in there. This girl needs to ground. She needs to go to therapy, traumatic exercises, whatever, like anything I think she's mastered dissociation to the point that she's very rarely here. And I think that a lot of the people that were on Quiet on the Set are really hoping that this will be like, because what I'm seeing is like a bed spring. It's like they're hoping this will be the thing that parachutes her out. It's kind of giving me the vibe of like, you know, when you run out of all other options, so you have to like intervention somebody. That's kind of the vibe. It's like, we don't know how to save Amanda. Maybe this last trigger will help her save herself. That's kind of the vibe. I feel like that's why they put her on Quiet on the Set. It's like, all of you will figure out what she's been through. Maybe then you'll send her nicer messages and stuff like that. The hope is that she decides to save herself. That was the point. That is why she was on Quiet on the Set. She can't talk. She doesn't want to talk, and they want to help her, but there's only so much that they can do. All right. Anything else, Spirit, in terms of what we need to know in terms of Amanda in all of this. Well, she's definitely dissociated. Page of Cups in reverse. Friction. I think she's pissed. It's like everything that I wanted came at a cost. I think she has severe trust issues, which are we shocked? She don't trust nobody. She don't like nobody. She doesn't know herself. I do think that she's having issues with anybody and everybody in her life because it's like, I don't know how to trust people. I just disconnect. Just stay away from me is kind of the vibe. Stay away. It's giving me like feral cat. She doesn't, yeah, it's like, look at all the time I put into everything and all the work that I've created and for what? King of Cups. Dude, how weird is that? Remember earlier I said the Queen of Cups, it felt like Dan? She's the King of Cups reversed. This is so weird. It's like Amanda had a more masculine energy than Dan did. It's really fucking weird. Like, oh my, this is going to make you guys so sick and I'm so sorry. But you know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing Amanda, and I hope to God this is a metaphor, but I'm seeing Dan having a hard day on like a 2-person couch. And I see him being sad on the couch and having his head in Amanda's lap. And I see Amanda like rubbing his head and being like, it's okay. We're going to get through this. I feel like Amanda was the strong one. This is so fucked up. How old was she? Like 13? It's like she felt like it very quickly switched. It's like he felt like he could save her because he couldn't feel like he could save his own life. And then it quickly switched where like she was then making him feel better. So it's like you got this weird fucking couple dynamic that's going on between a tween and a middle-aged man who feels like a teenager. And it's just like, honest, first of all, the friction is her and Dan. She doesn't want to go back to that. She don't want to it's like, I don't want to ever look at that again. Page of Cups in reverse. I'm detaching from this. I'm good. 2 of Wands, that's sexual tension. But with the 9 of Cups in reverse, I didn't ask for this. And the 7 of Pentacles is like looking at everything I put into this. 8 of Pentacles is work. King of Cups, I'm emotionally numb. There's nothing left in me. I am now just empty. I'm in my masculine energy. Being soft and sensitive and vulnerable does not benefit me. I don't even want to touch that energy. So I'm just going to put on a show. Amanda is in all sorts of trauma responses all at the same time. Yeah, this is a lot to do with like, I also feel that she's got this weird, like, she knows what happened between her and Dan was wrong, but at the same time, she beats herself up for it. Because it's like, I could have said no, or I should have known better, or this girl takes on the weight of I really want to know what's up with her parents, because this feels like a parentified child if I've ever felt one. So you're not going to convince me that she had a normal childhood where these people really cared about her and were very loving parents. I have read so many people. I don't feel that in this reading at all. This feels like a kid that was trying to find someone to call home, and she found the wrong fucking person. But that being said, and I don't know if this will make anybody feel better at all, as fucked up as this is, you know how we'll see people get arrested for, offending with children, and their argument every fucking time is like, but I never really harmed them, because in their mind, it's like, I was in love with them. I wanted to take care of them. I wanted to nurture them. And again, I'm not saying it's okay. Look up any psychological study. They will tell you that pedos have the mental capacity of a child. This is why it happens. Unfortunately, it's part of it. But what I'm seeing is Dan being like, I never hurt her. And as fucked up as it is, because I do believe that there was, 2 of Wands. What do wands look like? They look like penises. Need I say more? So to an extent he did, but he didn't beat her. He didn't do anything like, I'm having a hard time because I'm in his energy and I'm fighting with myself, because in his mind, some of the things he did was okay. Because it's like, oh God, I don't want to say any of this. Like, I see him like, how like, they were talking about how people had to rub his back. I feel like he rubbed her back. He rubbed her feet. He was always giving her loving embraces and shit, like the shit women want out of men when it's appropriate. But then the abuse would have been, you know, the stuff he should never do with someone that's a child. So, yeah, I'm just going to, you know what I'm saying without saying it. Unfortunately, because there's way too many buzzwords, I'm going to have to be careful. So y'all are going to have to read around the room. But yeah, what's the back deck energy? Yeah. I feel like Amanda has a lot of anger, a lot of regrets, a lot of pain. That Three of Swords speaks for itself. And look at how it's a man putting the dagger in her heart. So this has a lot to do with, like, taking advantage of me, seeing that I was vulnerable and weak. And look at that, the penis card. Taking advantage of the fact that I was... And I feel like she's also afraid of, like, if I were to come forward, the Ace of Wands, and tell you guys what happened, are you going to paint me as a monster? You guys have painted me as a villain before. You've called me crazy. You've called me mentally ill. You called me disturbed. They're drawing me back to how when Britney Spears shaved her head, everybody called her crazy and mentally ill. I think Amanda really takes to heart what people has to say. For her, it's like reading reviews. So in her mind, it's like, why would I speak my truth? I know how you guys treat people. And I think she's really afraid of any of the negativity that could come from it. I think she's worried about people being like, well, why didn't you come sooner? I think she's afraid of the very real fact that a lot of our victims aren't believed. And even though we all know we believe her, I think she's also worried about, will I be canceled for this? Will you blame me? It's like she always sees consequences. She doesn't see it as like, I'm a victim, I'm allowed to hold space, I'm allowed to be a human. She is a character. It's like she doesn't know how to be a person. She knows how to be a character. No one taught her how to develop a sense of self. She doesn't get it. She has no idea who she is. So she just keeps playing characters. That's what it is. It's like, I don't know how to be a person. No one ever taught me. I was too busy. And if you're someone who had to live in a lifestyle where you had to survive instead of live, then you get this energy. When you have spent your life just trying to survive, the idea of living doesn't really make sense because survival is all you've known. And so for Amanda, it's like, this is what I do. This is what I've always done. I'm going to keep doing it. Like, that's just how she's so disconnected from her emotional body. All of her chakras are blocked. All of them. All of them. All of them. Intuition, all of them. Like, this girl has been through some shit. I wouldn't even be shocked if Dan wasn't the only one, because this girl has had to dissociate in order to survive. And I feel like at some point, it just became her go-to setting. I don't think her soul ever kind of went back in, allegedly. And I don't really know what's going to happen because I'm concerned. I think the only way that she would be able to get better is with a lot of loving comments to the point, you know what? This is honestly, I can't get it out of my head, so I'm going to say it because maybe this will motivate all of you to start sending her love. But I can't get Eugenia Cooney out of my head. And if you don't know who that is, she's a YouTuber that has anorexia and she refuses to get help. And people have tried to help her and she just won't. And it's because, you know, you have anorexia brain. You can't think clearly. You're going through something. And unfortunately, all of YouTube's kind of just waiting for Eugenia to, unfortunately, probably pass on. And the timeline that I am seeing, if Amanda doesn't cope, it's reminding me a lot of Eugenia. It's reminding me of my reading on Justin Bieber, where he's not coping right. I feel like Amanda, her way to survive is doing reckless shit, which is not shocking with unevolved Aries energy. But it's like, I wouldn't, yeah, because I'm hearing Try to Make Me Go to Rehab. I said, no, that song. And she died of drugs. So I'm concerned about the future of Amanda. I think she needs to be sent a lot of love right now. No hate at all, because I think she's blaming herself for all of this. I even see her being like, why am I not being there for other child stars? Like, the least I could do is help other child stars, and then beating herself up for that when she can't even speak up for herself. Like, this girl. And here's the thing about Virgo energy. Fun fact, if you have any Virgo friends, this is a quote that you got Virgo placements, you'll resonate with this. Amanda, and I don't know if she has any Virgo placements, but this fits her. No one can be harder or crueler to Amanda than she is to herself. So anything you could possibly say in the comment section, she has said it to herself worse. This girl internalizes everything, which is why I'm like, there's got to be mercurial energy here. She has got to have a Gemini placement. I feel Gemini all over this. But with her, it's just like, let me put it in a box. Let me compartmentalize. For her, it's like, I think the reason that she's quote unquote like weird with the stuff she does is it's an act. I think it's an act. I think all she knows how to do is act. So it's like, you guys love me as my child actor star, so let me try to continue to be what you guys loved. And I think her doing weird shit is just her way of being, you know, the skit kid that she used to be. That's really what this is her continuing on her legacy of her version of normality so that she can function. That's what's going on. She attracts reckless relationships because she doesn't love herself. And so people are going to continue to trigger that and wound that within her because, again, you attract what you treat yourself. And if you feel like you're not worthy of love, then you're going to date someone who mirrors that back to you. And so this is why she has unhealthy relationships. This is why you see her going all sorts of crazy. It's not that she's crazy. She's traumatized. This girl has probably, I would guarantee it almost allegedly, I would not be shocked if she has CPTSD. This girl does not just have PTSD. There's trauma from all sorts of different directions. It's Dan, it's the parents, it's child star fame, it's relationships. Did her ex beat her up or something? Because I'm seeing like hands getting put on me by men I've dated. So I do feel like she has been abused by men. You guys might already know that. I don't know. But I'm just seeing like men putting hands on her. I'm even seeing a man like, I wonder if they're giving me tidbits into her life. Because I'm seeing a man like forcing a drink down her mouth. But it's giving me like, we're both drinking, we're both drunk, we're in a fight. And I said something that pissed you off. And so you're forcing a beer bottle down my throat. So I feel like this is all she's used to, is not having the right to her own body, the right to her own opinion, the right to her own mind, emotions. This is all she knows. And this is why I'm so adamant on you guys realizing that it's important to realize that you're not even an adult fully until you're 25, because that's when your prefrontal cortex develops. That's your decision-making center. And you're going to make poor choices up until you're 25 where your brain starts to go, hey, maybe you shouldn't do that. And then 30, your Saturn return hits. And that's when you figure out who you are. So if you're still doing fuck shit in those ages where you're supposed to be wrapping it up, but unfortunately society tells you to be adult by your 18. And so you kind of go through your own shit. This is what ends up happening. This is the manifestation of growing up too fast, not knowing who you are, taking on the projections of everybody else around you and letting other people tell you how to live your own fucking life because they know better. But if your soul is saying something else, then it doesn't fucking matter that they know better. They have more experience. They're older than you, blah, 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 blah. Your soul knows for a reason. And Amanda is unfortunately another sad story where it was like, I'm not listening to myself. I don't want problems. I'm conflict avoidant, so I'm going to take the high route. And I feel like she doesn't know how to unlearn that, and we're stuck. So I'm just kind of stuck repeating myself if I keep going. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to leave it here. Love how that card's the one to leave. And look at how she's praying. Like, I feel like Amanda wants so badly to have a normal life, but it's just kind of giving me the vibe of, like, I don't even know where to begin. It's like, imagine if you missed the first 10 years of school and then you wanted to start. It's like, holy shit, where do I begin? So, I feel like for Amanda, it's just kind of like, I think she's going to try to grip as hard as she can to the story she's made up in her head to keep her going. But with this coming out, with people, again, constantly writing comments on her shit and stuff like that, it's like eventually she is going to have to face it. And I almost see like a dam breaking. So it feels like she's at a crossroads right now. I'm not going to sit here and tell you which way she's going to go because I'm not going to sit here and lie. I see two timelines right now. I see a very dangerous one where she ends up drinking and drugging and getting into unhealthy relationships. And you know what I'm being shown is like Paul Walker when he crashed the car and died that way. So I think Spirit is showing me possibilities of what can happen if she doesn't deal with this. But there is another timeline that I'm seeing where she may have a dam break and then potentially like go away for a little while. So not like a rehab, more like a long-term care facility where like I'm there for a couple of months, because they're showing me the show Intervention, where it's like the people actually really wouldn't be an addict if they didn't have like the assault that happened to them. So it's like they're showing it to me like that. It's like she would be in a place that's specialized for the type of trauma she's been through. So I see two distinct timelines, but it's up to her to decide which one that's going to be. And right now it feels like she's still kind of going the route of hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, which is why I'm concerned, which is why I do feel like we need to pray for her. She kind of feels like the next Britney, but with a little bit more Justin energy in terms of doing the wrong things, making the wrong choices to feel like you're alive, but then making life choices that may take your life. So I don't know. I'm concerned for her. I think we need to pray for her. You know, if you're one of those people that comments on her shit, start commenting a lot of nice shit. You hear, you support her, you love her, blah, blah, blah. Help her through this, because her, Justin Bieber, there's a lot of people I'm concerned about through the next 5 to 10 years. They can pick a timeline that's not going to, dude, that's not going to end well if they don't. It's almost like the universe is giving them an option to face it, because now everything's being brought up, right? We're seeing it all come out. So now we're going to see how people react to it. Like I've said with the Usher Diddy thing. Is Usher going to admit that he was, or is he just going to take the high road? We don't know. These people, they have to make their own choice. It's free will. And so Justin doesn't really want to deal with it. And Justin drugs out and drinks out and zones out. I see Amanda Bynes kind of similar, where it's like, if I don't look at it, if I don't open the closet door, then I don't have to see the monster that's hiding in it. And if she doesn't stop, I just see her doing damage to her body that could end badly. So yeah, I'm going to leave that one alone. So if you guys, I guess, enjoyed this reading, if you enjoyed the Nickelodeon series, if you enjoyed this video, I guess, and yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys want to see. Let me know in the community posts what you guys want to see. Like this if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new here. I would love to have you. Thank you to all my regulars, all my besties. I love you guys so much. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful week. You guys can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. All the links are down below. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, the wait time is up to 21 business days. Please be patient with me. I'm just one person, and the link is my website in the description box down below. But yeah, if this reading gave you the ick, I have a playlist on pop culture. I have a conspiracy playlist. Maybe that'll make you feel better, because this did not make me feel great. But yeah, let's all pray for Amanda, because I think now is the time where she can hopefully get her heart back. Let's all root for that. So yeah, thanks besties. Love you guys so much. Stay free. Keep pursuing your own dreams. Don't let anybody get in the way. And I will see you guys in my next video. So thank you so much for watching.